Hello everyone! Today we're going to be doing a little bit of a recipe that's actually very simple and very easy to do. All you're going to need is flour, cheese, water, butter, and any spices you want really. So to get started, we're going to first add the cheese. You will need a cup of cheese. Today I'm doing Gouda and Parmesan cheese. And so simply we're going to add the cheese first. If you don't have your cheese shredded, this is a good idea to make sure that it's all shredded before you put in your butter and flour. And once this is finely shredded, this is where you're going to add 4 tablespoons of butter and flour. Make sure they're softened, do not melt them. This butter is going to help make these cheese puffs a lot fluffier and bigger. And then your cup of flour. I'm using all-purpose flour today. You do not need to use all-purpose flour. You could use oat flour, rice flour, wheat flour, almond flour, whatever flour. Then you're going to pulse this and then leave it on until it looks like it's a blend of some sort of cookie mix without the eggs. Okay, now you can add your spices once it is finely grated like this. Now for today, I'm going to use the simple salt and pepper to make sure that everything gets a kick of everything else I'm putting in. And it really depends on what exactly you want it to taste like. I recommend using some onion powder. I would say about 1/8 teaspoon of onion powder. I'm using a lot of rosemary because I love rosemary. And then you're going to blend all your spices together. And if you don't use spices, that's completely okay too. I do it because I cannot handle just cheese on its own. And once this is done, you're going to take your water, and it may seem like too little. You're only going to need 2 tablespoons, which is about 1/8 of a cup. Pour that in. And then blend this. And if you need more water, use more water. Eventually it should start to form like a dough. And once it does that, you should have your dough. It's going to be sticky. So now once you have left in your fridge for at least 2 hours, you should be able to take it out easily. It shouldn't stick too much. And now you'll need a placemat. And this is to ensure that you won't get all over your counter. You also are going to need your flour. So we're going to dust the placemat, and we're going to dust the dough. You can leave the rest to the side. You don't want to do it all at once. You want to have enough so you can roll it as thin as possible. So you need your rolling pin. And because you just took it out of the fridge, if you leave it out for a couple of minutes, it should soften. And you want to roll it to no more than 1/8 an inch thickness. Now, once you have given it your desired thickness, remember, the thicker it is, the puffier it's going to be, and the longer it's going to need to cook. So you take a knife, and we're going to cut this into shapes. I would prefer squares. It is a lot easier, and you will get that right puff. And simply cut it, just simple lines, cut it into squares. It doesn't have to be perfect squares. I would say about 1 inch to 1 inch, or 1/2 inch to 1/2 inch, depending on how you prefer. You should start to preheat your oven to 350 degrees. We're going to continue to cut this. Now, if you want, you can always add spices on top of these treats. Now, once you have finished doing what you're doing, you are going to bake it in 350 degrees for just about 10 minutes or until it's starting to slightly brown. You do not want it to burn too much. And before you do so, you are also able to add your spices right onto it. Of course, once you're done, let it cool for at least 5 minutes before you put it away. It is best served warm, and you have to refrigerate it, but you can microwave it to warm it up again. And these are your delicious and nutritious treats.